Right now, somewhere closer than you think, a snake could be watching the world from complete silence, not moving, not making a sound, not revealing itself in any way. It may be hidden beneath a patch of grass, beneath fallen leaves, beside a stone warmed by the sun, or curled quietly beneath a bush. You could walk within a few feet of it and never know it was there. That possibility alone is enough to make most people uncomfortable. For thousands of years, snakes have occupied a unique place in the human imagination. They appear in myths, legends, religions, and nightmares. Entire civilizations feared them. Stories transformed them into symbols of danger, deception, and death. Yet the reality of snakes is far more fascinating than the stories people tell, because the truth is that most snakes spend their lives doing everything possible to avoid being noticed. Imagine walking through a field as evening approaches. The sunlight begins to fade. The air grows cooler. The sounds of the day slowly change. To you, it feels peaceful. But beneath the surface, another world is waking up. Many snake species become active during the cooler hours of the day. The intense heat has faded, and conditions are finally comfortable enough to move. Slowly, silently, they emerge from burrows, hollow logs, rock crevices, and hidden shelters, not searching for people, not hunting humans, simply trying to survive, searching for food, searching for water, searching for safety. Every movement they make is driven by one goal: stay alive. That goal may sound simple, but life is dangerous for a snake. Birds hunt snakes. Foxes hunt snakes. Wild cats hunt snakes. Monitor lizards hunt snakes. Even other snakes hunt snakes. For many species, danger can come from almost any direction. Because of this, snakes evolved one of the most effective survival strategies in the animal kingdom: disappear. Blend in. Remain unnoticed. Scientists who study snake behavior have observed something remarkable. When a potential threat approaches, many snakes do not immediately escape. They freeze. Every muscle becomes still. Every movement stops. The snake becomes a living statue. To a predator, movement attracts attention. Without movement, detection becomes dramatically more difficult. And this is where snakes gain an extraordinary advantage. The human brain is designed to notice motion. Our ancestors survived because they could quickly detect movement in their environment. But a perfectly still object often escapes attention. A motionless snake can blend so effectively into its surroundings that it becomes almost invisible. The pattern on its scales breaks up its outline. Its body mimics branches, roots, shadows, and vegetation. To human eyes, it simply becomes part of the landscape. This is why so many people describe snake encounters as sudden. The snake didn't suddenly appear. It was already there. The person simply never saw it. Now imagine yourself walking through that environment. 20 feet away, the snake notices the vibrations of your footsteps. 15 feet away, it remains still. 10 feet away, still no movement. 5 feet away, the snake is relying entirely on camouflage, hoping you will continue walking, hoping you will never notice its presence. Most of the time, that hope is rewarded. You walk past. The snake remains hidden. The encounter ends before either side truly becomes aware of the other, and these invisible encounters happen constantly, every single day, across forests, across deserts, across farms, across cities. Thousands of people unknowingly pass within a few feet of snakes and never realize it. No attack, no confrontation, no danger, just two living creatures sharing the same space for a brief moment. Yet those stories are never told. Nobody remembers the snake they never saw. Nobody talks about the attack that never happened. Instead, people remember the rare occasions when something goes wrong, because sometimes the distance becomes too small. Sometimes a foot lands too close. Sometimes a hand reaches beneath the wrong rock. Sometimes a snake suddenly finds itself with nowhere to retreat. And when that happens, survival instincts begin to take over. Contrary to popular belief, snakes do not view biting as their first option. A bite is risky. Venom is valuable. Fangs can break. Injuries can be fatal. Every confrontation carries consequences. For a snake, avoiding conflict is almost always the safer choice. That is why many snakes try to warn potential threats before they ever strike. A cobra spreads its hood. A rattlesnake vibrates its tail. A viper releases a loud hiss. These displays are often misunderstood. People see aggression. The snake sees communication. The message is simple. You are too close. Please leave. The warning exists because the snake wants the encounter to end without violence, and often it works. The person backs away. The snake remains where it is. Both survive, but humans are curious creatures. Some move closer. Some attempt to take photographs. Some try to touch the animal. Others mistakenly assume the snake is harmless. In those moments, the situation changes. The snake no longer sees an escape route. It no longer sees safety. And when an animal believes its survival is at risk, extraordinary things can happen. The strike of a snake is one of the fastest movements found anywhere in nature. High-speed cameras reveal details invisible to the human eye. One moment the snake is perfectly still, the next moment it explodes forward. Its muscles release stored energy with incredible speed. The jaws open, the fangs make contact, and almost immediately, the snake withdraws. The entire event may last less than a tenth of a second, faster than a blink, faster than conscious thought. Many victims later describe feeling confused because they never actually saw the strike itself. They only realized something had happened after the fact. Yet despite its speed, a snake's strike is not random. It is a highly refined survival response developed through millions of years of evolution. Every movement is precise. Every action serves a purpose. And perhaps the most misunderstood part begins after the bite. Movies often portray venom as an instant death sentence. A bite occurs. Seconds later, the victim collapses. Reality is rarely that dramatic. Snake venom is one of the most complex biological substances on Earth. Some venoms attack the nervous system. Scientists call these neurotoxins. They interfere with communication between nerves and muscles. Victims may experience weakness, blurred vision, difficulty speaking, or trouble breathing. Other venoms attack blood and tissue. These are known as hemotoxins. They damage cells, disrupt clotting mechanisms, and can cause severe swelling and pain. Some snakes possess combinations of both. Each venom evolved for a specific purpose, not to kill humans, but to help the snake survive, to capture prey, to defend itself, to increase its chances of living another day. Perhaps even more surprising is the existence of something known as a dry bite. In these encounters, the snake strikes and its fangs penetrate the skin, yet little or no venom is injected. Why would a venomous snake do this? Because venom is valuable. Producing it requires energy. A snake cannot afford to waste it unnecessarily. If a warning strike is enough to make a threat leave, releasing venom may not be worth the cost. Researchers estimate that a significant number of venomous bites contain little or no venom at all. Even in conflict, many snakes are attempting to minimize risk. Consider 3 different situations. A farmer walks through tall grass before sunrise. Visibility is poor. A hidden snake suddenly feels the vibration of approaching footsteps. A boot lands dangerously close. The snake reacts instantly. Elsewhere, a hiker climbs across a rocky slope. Without looking, a hand reaches over a ledge. Beneath the shade lies a resting snake. The surprise is mutual. The strike follows. In another place, a child notices a brightly colored snake while playing outdoors. Curiosity takes over. The child moves closer. The snake feels trapped. Another defensive bite occurs. Different people, different locations, different circumstances, yet the same pattern repeats. The snake was not hunting. The snake was not chasing. The snake was not seeking conflict. The snake simply believed it was running out of options. That distinction changes everything, because when people think about dangerous animals, they often imagine aggression. But aggression is not what drives most snake bites. Fear does. The snake fears the human far more than the human fears the snake. Imagine standing beside a creature hundreds of times larger than yourself. A creature capable of crushing you with a single step. A creature whose intentions you cannot understand. That is the reality snakes face every day. From their perspective, humans are giants, unpredictable giants. And when giants move too close, survival instincts take control. Yet despite all the fears surrounding snakes, the overwhelming majority of encounters end peacefully. No strike, no venom, no conflict, just avoidance. The snake remains hidden. The human continues walking. Life goes on. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson snakes have to teach us. The animal most famous for attacking spends most of its life trying not to. Most snakes do not want attention. They do not want confrontation. They do not want conflict. They simply want to survive. And once you understand that, snake attacks begin to look very different. Like acts of aggression. They begin to look like split-second survival decisions made by an animal that believes it has no safer choice. The greatest danger snakes possess is not their venom. It is not their speed. It is not even their fangs. It is their remarkable ability to remain unseen, to exist beside us while living secret lives hidden beneath grass, leaves, rocks, and shadows. And perhaps, somewhere nearby, one is doing exactly that right now. Silent, patient, invisible, watching the world pass by without ever being noticed, exactly as snakes have done for millions of years.